The Quartz Crisis was the closest the mechanical watch world came to extinction. I love seeing the revival of the affected brands in the modern day, but I don't think any have come further in such a short amount of time than Yema. Considering they are an independent watchmaker, they have no right making the insane movements that they are. But today I have the pleasure of introducing you to one of them. My name's Jason, I'm your watch guy today. Let's take a look at it. I have the Wristmaster Slim in today, and this is the small second variant. It fits that beautiful integrated sports type of style in my opinion. The angles, that fixed bezel, and we can't forget the beautiful chamfered edges meeting the straight brushing of the main sectors of that case. This is certainly not an underdone style, and I'm sure a lot of you have got fatigue for integrated sports pieces. But when it's done right, it really hits the spot. However, in my opinion, the case is not the main selling point. Many brands offer integrated style sports pieces, but very few are doing it with in-house calibers, especially at the same price as Yema. Their Morto workshop are creating incredible calibers that we really need to be paying much more attention to. Their CMM .10, .20 and .30 are absolutely insane, especially when you consider they only came back onto the scene less than 20 years ago. This Wristmaster is running the CM .29. A beautifully decorated micro rotor movement that packs some serious capabilities. And you can see it in all of its glory through that display case back. I've said this about other watches, but it certainly applies here. This is one that will look just as good from the back as it does the front. It holds a 70-hour power reserve at a high beat rate. For me, there isn't much that looks more luxurious, elegant and impressive than a micro rotor movement. But it also has the benefit of fulfilling that slim profile. And you can see that in this Wristmaster as it comes in at 9mm thick. That's without the dome sapphire crystal, but still pretty impressive. I think it's the perfect combination for this watch. I really enjoy that beyond that movement, they've kept this looking very classic and almost giving it an urban, rugged type of look. The high polished aspects are fantastic and they really do highlight the angles to the case, but that brushing brings it back to the more everyday type of style. It also works pretty well with the cutaway aspects to the bezel. They add a little bit more of an angular effect. The case fits really well on the wrist and that does make sense considering the dimensions. The 39mm diameter certainly brings in a more classic size, but it also doesn't take away from the presence of the watch. As well as that, the 43.5mm lug-to-lug distance is definitely needed with this integrated style, as you need to remember the lugs will overhang slightly. They've been incredibly smart with this case in my opinion. The curves to the sides play towards the angles really well. It gives a refined element whilst also, as I said, keeping that rugged nature. They also flow into those more slight crown guards that sink the crown into the case. It definitely helps in incorporating that oversized nature of the crown, but also it serves that function of protecting it. It is screwed down, it has a good grip, and it's signed. There's not much more I can ask for it. It is a sports style piece, so we are expecting a half decent water resistance here, and that's what we have. This one comes in with 100 meters of water resistance. Now, it's not the best in the world, but it definitely suffices. It makes it usable for everyday tasks. But let's be honest, this isn't a cheap watch, so we're going to expect nothing else. As I mentioned, this is the small second variant. Now, if that isn't for you, there are other variants that you can go and have a look at. They all come in around the same type of price point. And if you're feeling a little bit more spicy, there's even a camo variant, which, weirdly enough, I'm a big fan of. Judge me if you will, but it just adds that little element of different. The deep green is certainly more classic in nature, slightly more subdued and simple. It is offset by the small seconds at the 9 o'clock. It's indented into that dial, which almost gives me a radar type of look to it. All of the hour markers are applied to the dial. They're done well. Honestly, they've kept everything very simple in that dial. They haven't overplayed the hand. They haven't underplayed what you need. It is what it is. I do, however, really like the Alpha style handset. It adds a little bit more flair to it. And I think that the piece definitely required that. It is really mad when you look at the camo piece in comparison to this one. I mean, they're the same watch, but worlds apart. The bracelet is pretty much what you expect, but also exactly what's needed. It flows with the design, it flows into the chamfers of that case. The finishing matches up really well, and it's an extension of the head of the watch. It is a butterfly clasp, and usually that would be my first moan, but they've even thought of that. Each side has a micro adjustment that you can use on the fly. It's not the most perfect version I have seen of that answer to a butterfly clasp, but it definitely works. It does the job and helps them to get past from me in that area. I do really like how well this bracelet works with the watch. I think that's really the selling point of many integrated sports pieces. The fact that it is an extension of the design in a lot of ways. That, as well as how well they wear in pretty much any type of setting. For me, these are definitely in that type of gather territory. It's really all I'd need in pretty much any daily situation. And it really does go to show that they were pretty much the most popular designs on the market a few years ago. And in many people's cases, a lot of them are still way up there in their grail pieces. I said this isn't a cheap watch, and you would expect that considering the heritage, the caliber of this movement, and the overall quality that goes into these pieces. They're developed in France. Those components are created between France and Switzerland, and then they're hand assembled in morto in France. Elements like that add together to give you the overall value of a piece, in my opinion, which is why I still don't think this is awful at $2,500. We saw how much the development of an in-house caliber added to the likes of Oris. I think for a lot of people who want that luxurious integrated sports style piece, this could be an absolute steal considering the others on the market, especially with that micro rotor movement. In terms of moans, I'm going to start with the very obvious. That dial is very simple. Maybe too simple for a lot of people. As well as that, $2,500, I would expect some sort of applied logo. I don't really appreciate that, just printed to the dial. And just to add a little bit on there, I really don't like the indices around that small second dial. For me, they take away from the design instead of adding to it. And I understand that something has to be done there because of that small second, but it is also the reason that I would opt for the other variant instead of this small seconds. With that being said, as an overall prospect and the value to it, I think that this is really, really good. And considering that the brand have only been back in the market for less than 20 years, as I stated, I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. I think for the movements alone, they deserve plenty of credit. And when you look at the rest of this case, and yeah, I didn't exactly love the dial. There's not really anything wrong with it. I think overall you have to give them a lot of credit. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more of them on the channel.